This is the Whole Care Network. Helping you tell your story one podcast at a time. Content presented in the following podcast is for information purposes only. Views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host and guest and may not represent the views and opinions of the Whole Care Network. Always consult with your physician for any medical advice, and always consult with your attorney for any legal advice. And thank you for listening to the Whole Care Network.
The following podcast sometimes offers unusual solutions to usual problems. These solutions are meant for qualified agencies or individuals to put into action. And I'd be willing to bet that's not you. Listen, folks, we don't take ourselves too seriously. Neither should you. So, let's go have a laugh. Welcome to Unscrewed where we bring differently twisted solutions to life's little problems. I'm Josh.
I'm Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Hey,
Amanda, we talked about
Yes.
unscrewing breakups last week. Do you have any further thoughts on that for this week?
No, I haven't broken up with anyone this week, so I don't have any new insight.
Well, thank you for telling me that, because I thought that you had just gotten so good at it that you broke up with me and I didn't know.
And you didn't know?
This week, we're going to unscrew up politicians.
Somebody's got to, right?
Before that, though, I have this new endeavor that I want Wilson Technologies to address.
You don't give these people time to actually do any of the things because you keep coming up with things for them.
Listen, they are the imaginary people that live in my head, and I know how easily distracted they are.
Yes, so you're just
So
fine.
I
Look at this shiny thing now.
I need to provide them with this. So
Yeah.
Wilson Technologies is a subsidiary of Familiar Wilson's Media. They are an arm. They are a division that
Appendage.
They are an appendage, hopefully not the appendix, that focuses on coming up with new strategies, new ways of doing things. I say, hey, folks, I've got this idea. And they're like, hey, that's great. Let's figure that out. So Wilson Technologies, which, by the way, the slogan of Wilson Technologies is Wilson Technologies. We try harder so you can nap.
Oh, good. Someone needs to.
So you work with literacy. That's part of your job. I want Wilson Technologies to have a literacy branch where they look at language, they look at how and why we communicate, and if they can, they make it better.
Okay.
Now, there are a series of words in the English language that, as I'm exposing my 6-year-old to them, I realize, well, this makes no sense. The English language, I think it's possible that it has the most words of any language on the planet. Keeping that in mind, that it has probably the most words and it borrows from a lot of languages
that is
too.
accurate. Mm-hmm.
The words don't make sense because they come from all these different directions. It's time for us to make the words start making sense.
Okay.
And so I have a list of words here as an example of words that we need to rebrand and redefine so that they make sense, so that they mean what they look like they mean.
Okay.
For example, cargo.
Cargo is items or something that are being carried in something else. So like the cargo of a ship, or you have cargo pockets to put stuff in.
Wrong. In our new language, it's going to mean accelerating your automobile.
Okay. Got it.
Cargo. Okay,
Got it.
next. Outrage.
Outrage means to be really, really angry and expressing it verbally out into the world.
Well, we're going to shift it slightly so it makes more sense. It means being mad outside.
Okay. Fine. Go be mad. Can I apply this to our 6-year-old?
Anything that can benefit us, I want you to do.
You can be angry about whatever it is you're yelling about. You have to do it outside.
Outrage.
There you go. That's good.
Founder.
A founder is someone who initiates something or develops something.
Right. A founder is someone who finds something.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Yes,
Yes,
I
they
lost
found
my
it.
keys, and Amanda was the
I
founder.
am the founder. Mm-hmm.
Undergo.
Undergo means to begin something, or
It's the subway.
okay.
The subway system is now the undergo.
It's cargo, undergo.
Ingrown.
What is it? What are planes? Skygo? I mean, that's not a word.
I'm not there yet.
Ingrown is when something is growing the opposite direction of how it's supposed to grow.
Yes. So what it really should mean is shrinking. If something is shrinking, it's ingrowing,
Okay.
not outgrowing. Outhouse. Easy. It's a home without walls.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Coffee.
A necessary evil in my world.
Coffee is a person who gets coughed upon. You got the cougher and the coffee.
Oh, well, I'm the coffee in this relationship.
Yeah, no.
Well, because you have the cough. You have a cough this morning, allergy cough this morning.
Ignorant.
Someone who does not know things.
No, someone who intentionally is not paying attention.
No, somebody's intentionally not paying attention to ants. That's it. It's just someone who goes around ignoring ants.
Ignore ant. Oh, very good. See, you're good at this now. Demean.
To put someone down.
Yeah, no. Demean is to make someone nice. You're demeaning them.
Got it. All right. So you're really into morphology, which is meanings of parts of words. Okay. Got it.
Amuse.
Amuse is to entertain.
Amuse is A, meaning without amuse. You got an artist, he can't create because he doesn't have a muse.
There you go.
He's amuse. All right. And lastly, explain.
Now I'm just playing the game where I'm trying to figure out what you said.
Explain.
Explain means is what you're doing to me by describing these new words.
Right. Explain means to make something fancy.
Oh, you're explaining it.
It's explain. It was no longer plain. It is now fancy.
All right. I can see the value in this.
So Wilson Technologies literary division or literacy division or morphology division, whatever you want to frickin' call it, you are now in charge of going through it, cataloging the English language and fixing it. I cannot wait.
Yes. Good. Done.
But enough of that nonsense. Let's fix the problems of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wilsons will now unscrew it up. Politicians. I can't look at my news feed anymore without seeing politicians behaving badly.
Yeah, and it feels like those big words, indicted, impeached, those things that used to be so singular and shocking, or everybody is getting indicted for something now, and everybody is getting impeached. Texas just kicked somebody out of office. Don't even remember who. It doesn't seem like anybody's behaving anymore.
So we need to fix it.
Yeah.
This is the bottom line. And so we are going to present these possible solutions. We're going to narrow it down to 5 of them. And we are going to forward it to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, what's that guy up to?
Well, nothing. He's done nothing since Ghostbusters. So he is going to roam the streets of Washington, D.C. in his giant form, and he is going to clean up politics.
I have some good ideas for him.
How many ideas do you have?
I only have 3.
Okay, I have lots of ideas. So,
okay, so you go first.
Why don't I go first? Okay. So in our attempt to unscrew up politicians, one of the main problems that I will be addressing in different ways is how to get them to tell the truth. How to keep them...
I think the whole point of politics is that you're not telling the truth.
Well, we need to be able to hold folks accountable, period.
Yes.
And so the easiest way, I think, to deal with that is I think that every politician, no matter what the level, should wear body cams. They should wear body cams.
All the time? Because
Yes.
I don't want to see them go to the bathroom.
Well, or make out in a movie theater, which is something that we were just treated to.
Okay.
But the point being is that if everything they said was being recorded,
Yep.
we would be able to hold them accountable. So,
Fair enough.
and they can't turn it off.
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, no. Okay, so no. They should be able to turn off in their private time, but they can't turn it off while they're doing their work. That's what I mean.
Some people get up to some stuff in their private time that impacts their ability to do their work.
Okay, well, see, there's a line I'm not willing to step across. I think that we too quickly go into the private lives.
Right.
Now, there's
Fair
got to be a way to deal with it, because some people in private are just nasty, nasty, nasty. But the reality is as long as they're behaving themselves in their official capacity,
Yes.
it's like the whole thing with Clinton in the White House. Not that I want to get into that.
Yeah.
Did that affect his ability to work?
Okay, fair enough. What I don't like are the people who take very strong stances on something, but in their private lives are participating in those things that they take strong stances against.
Yes, well, that's true, and maybe you can fix that. I'm just suggesting right now body cams while they are doing their work. And here's a little caveat. If they are within 500 feet of another politician, their body cam automatically switches on. So if they're trying to have these little clandestine meetings after hours, boop, nope, can't do that.
Okay.
All right. Body cams for politicians.
If they have nothing to hide, then
what do you have?
I have get rid of them all and elect all animals.
How would governing happen?
Well, here's the thing. So this is already a thing that happens, and I think it's done to raise awareness for like animal charities, or it's done. I mean, they're not actually the governing bodies or the governing officials. However, in 2020, there were at least 9 dogs, 1 cat, and 3 goats who, when this article was written by Business Insider, were elected into office. Have you seen?
Wait. Okay. Did they serve, or were they a figurehead?
I'm sure they were a figurehead, but I'm going to solve this. So, have you seen those things on Instagram and on all the reels and TikToks and stuff where people train their dogs to push the button so they can push a button and it'll say like outside, like they have a pad of buttons and they've trained
they train their dogs to communicate using these
so there's
buttons.
Like a yes, a no, a veto, a we train the dog with all of these political terms that they need to know, and then the dog just, and nobody's gonna be, dogs are just cute. You're not gonna get mad at them. They're not out there being hypocritical. They're very honest and loyal. But if we think that the dogs will just kind of be too nice to everybody, then I say we go straight to cats, because cats do not care.
Listen, our dog is not too nice to everyone.
Okay. But so he would have voted everybody who lives outside of this house off the island or whatever his political.
No, our dog does not like people. I would not elect our dog for dog catcher for nothing.
Right. Okay. So, but we go straight to cats. Cats are very discerning. Cats don't care. They'll knock your stuff off the counter whilst you're telling them not to. And so if we want people who are just there to get the job done and not being swayed by lobbyists, then cats.
There to get the job done? Mr. Speaker, I would like to address... Oh, look, what is that, a shiny light? No, dude. No.
Okay, fine.
I mean, dogs before cats. Okay. Cats, I feel like we kind of have cats now. Distractible, capricious fools. That's what we have.
All right, so we elect all dogs and we train them on the buttons. But I need to know what the goats are here for.
Yes, no, and pardon the Thanksgiving turkey. Those are the 3 buttons it has.
Got it. All right.
You have to know what about the goats?
Why the goats are here? What do they do? I don't know. Like 9 dogs, 1 cat, and 3 goats. The towns have elected.
Was the goat elected as the head of sanitation? Because that would absolutely work.
That would make sense. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, and it's funny because as I was going through here and keeping in mind that this is a comedy podcast, like I have several things in here that are just serious. Like I started to get really like pissed off as I was making this, like term limits. I wrote that. Well, that's not funny. Term limits,
but they need them.
They need them, or you can't be rich to be a politician. I think that's also a thing. But so my actual next one is make it like jury duty. Make being a politician like jury duty.
Nobody likes jury duty.
You're called to serve in order to fix a problem, right? It's like calling a temporary committee together, right?
Okay.
It'll get done so quickly.
Because everybody wants to go home.
I just got to I got to get back to my job. I got to get stuff done. I got to pick up my kids. How can we most efficiently fix this problem?
Yes.
Bam, I don't have time to mess with this.
Right. That's
okay.
Right.
Boom, done. Oh my gosh, so much would get done.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Political serving like jury duty.
All right, I actually am here for that. My next one is all politicians are not allowed to have handlers. They cannot have speechwriters. They cannot have communication director. They have to do everything themselves. They can't have fundraisers. They can't have anybody who's there to help them present themselves better, to help them, word their things craftily. We need to get...
Unlike you.
Right. You like that? I'm not running for office. We need to get them as they really are, specifically like speechwriters. I want to know exactly what you think. And if you can construct your thoughts in an organized way, unlike what I'm doing right now, I just don't think they should have handlers. I think they should be out there having to do everything by themselves. And then we can get to the heart of really who's actually capable of doing this and who isn't.
So no secretaries to make appointments or to call people for people, like nothing at all.
No. They can have staff, like secretaries or, drivers should they need them. What I'm saying is the people who are in charge of making the politicians look good to the public, those people aren't allowed to be there anymore.
Also, no chat GPT type things then.
Nope.
Okay, it's interesting. I think that politicians should have to be their own drivers.
Okay.
Don't be in charge of fixing the transportation system here in the United States and not have to actually do it or use it. If you're on the transportation committee, you frickin' need to drive your own car.
You're hitting upon my third solution, so go ahead and share something for you.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so that's good. So they have to do everything themselves, no handlers. I don't think they should be allowed to have secretaries. They should do all of it themselves. So that, number one, they have to collaborate with their other politicians more. They have to get along better. All of the things, because, none of this, like the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. Oh, that was a member of my staff. They don't really represent me. First of all, they should. Right? If they're your staff. But second of all, get rid of that excuse.
Yep.
No. You did that. You looked me right in the face and I got your body cam. You did that.
Right.
All right. My next one. I think that they should have fact checkers all the time.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm all for this.
So we are to a point now where we do have these AI things. And so instead of them taking AI and using it to twist things and craft things, no, AI will exist there'll be like some sort, like, let's say it's like a big thing that they hang around their neck, like Flavor Flav's watch. Right? Like a big clock, right?
Say, yeah.
And it fact checks them in real time. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. First of all, they wouldn't gas out about every little thing. No. They would be super careful with their words because right there on their person is, oh no, you lied. Yeah. No, not actually how it happened. And along with that, I had this as a separate thing, but this is now going to be a feature of Flavor Flav's fact checker, right? Every time they lie, they lose a day off of their term.
Oh, I like this.
Now, if it's a big lie, they can lose like a month, right? There can be a scale that is established by whoever, and this is, oh, no, you lied, you lose a month.
Yeah.
You lose a day. Little white lie, you lose 10 minutes.
I like it. I'm fully supportive of this. All right, fact checker sponsored by Snopes.
No, Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav sponsored by Snopes.com. Right, it's a collab.
Yes, go ahead.
My last one is, I believe that anyone who is elected to a position, there should be a 6 months probationary period in which they have to experience whatever it is and serve in whatever capacity they have been elected. So therefore, if they are a superintendent or if they are secretary of education, they must spend 6 months in a classroom, an underfunded classroom where they don't have extra staff. They have to do everything that they are then going to implement laws for. So you would have a 6 months crossover for whoever is still in office, would stay in office for those 6 months while this person is being basically onboarded to their new position. So therefore, a transportation secretary or a city planner or whoever has to, live on the roads or pay the electricity bills that the people are. Here we have a thing where local politicians and our utility company are maybe in some sort of collusion and people are very upset about it. Fine, then you have to pay the $1,000 utility bills or whatever people are complaining about.
Oh, I thought you were going to put them out and they got to climb these poles to hook up the wires.
Well, so they can do that when there's a storm that comes through and they don't have any electricity. If you are Surgeon General, you have to go spend 6 months in a really rural medical clinic in which you don't have funding and can't see everybody who's there. Like, you need to spend the time before you officially become in office actually doing the things that you're then going to go make laws about.
It's interesting. So now I'm thinking about the different levels and different positions in government and what these people should go do. So president, I feel like, should have to go live in some of these countries that the United States is acting upon.
Yes.
Right? So you got to go live 6 months in this country that you would like to send missiles to or whatever, or maybe they're neighboring countries. You got to do that, right? If you're a senator or a congressperson, then you got to just live in a poor section of the country, right? If you're a judge or on the Supreme Court, then you got to work with people who are like stuck in this legal system, who maybe we need to give them a break, right?
Right.
Well, the judges and those people need to spend time with us. And on. A transportation secretary we talked about. It's interesting. Your idea here hits on two of my solutions. Number one was these people need to have at least 6 months of training.
Yeah, okay. Fair
I
enough.
mean, and some of them lack even the most fundamental understanding of the Constitution.
Okay, yeah,
right?
fair enough. Mm-hmm.
So let's spend like 2 weeks just on defining well-regulated militia, right? Let's just do that. Maybe that's the first damn thing that we focus on. Okay. And then moving from there. But ground them in at least a foundational understanding of how our country was founded and how it's supposed to work, right?
Yeah.
And as you go through your term, weekly quizzes.
I like this.
Weekly quizzes. And if you fail, guess what? Nope. We're pulling you out. Go back to summer school or whatever.
Right.
Weekly quizzes. And then the other thing that I had is that, and you touched on this a little bit more specifically, but what I wrote was, if you're in elected office, every month you have to work a shift at the local Waffle House. No call-outs. Right. Be a person of the people.
Right.
And I'm not talking about taking the orders. I'm talking about you got to bust tables and take the garbage out, right? Stay connected to the people.
Yeah.
And you ain't going to get more people than you will. I almost said Walmart, but no, Waffle House.
Yes.
Waffle House.
There you go. It is my understanding that the American citizenship test, like the average American couldn't pass it. So people who are applying for citizenship and becoming U.S. citizens, that those of us who were born here don't have this very specific knowledge that they're having to acquire to be a citizen of the United States. So therefore, I think that having politicians take the citizenship test is also not a bad idea.
You know who else should take the citizenship test? Now that I think about it, and this is beyond the scope of what we're talking about, I think that if you earn over a certain amount of money, okay, because in our society, money equals influence and money equals the ability to exercise power. If all of a sudden you are finding yourself, or we find that you have now this power in this country, citizenship tests.
Yes.
Regular tests and quizzes about understanding how this country is supposed to work.
Not just the, I was born here, this is my country, everybody else needs to get out, which tends to be a little bit of the platform that some people
because
take.
Showing a basic misunderstanding of what this country is supposed to be about.
Correct.
Oh man, we're fixing all over the place here, man.
And I think that we should, you know how people have those bumper stickers that say like proud parent of an honor student?
Yes.
We have so many bumper stickers that are like, I saw one the other day that was a gun and it said, we don't call 911. Like we have so many aggressive in your face political stance bumper stickers. I think that we just need one that says, I took my citizenship test, leave me alone. And it's got a date on it, like you do with your tag.
Wait,
with
is
your
this a license?
Yeah, like your license plate. You know how you change the sticker out every year for the registration? That. I took my monthly citizenship test or my annual or whatever. Please don't run your giant truck into me.
Okay, I'm sure that'll be very effective. We can order those stickers as the first Unscrewed Up swag.
There you go.
I mean, meaningless, but so are all bumper stickers.
Yeah.
All right, and my last thing is, again, addressing the fact that we have politicians that are staying in office way too long.
Term limits.
And they have way too much influence. You know how when your brakes need to be replaced, they have built into your brake system that when they become worn, they start to screech.
Yes.
Like that's a feature.
Yes.
That's not an accident. That's like, okay, now you know it's way past time for you. Okay. So do that, but do it with politicians. The closer a politician gets to retirement, the more irksome and annoying their voice becomes.
Okay.
So that when it starts to become time, they have less influence, and like people just want to get them out of the room.
How do we physically do this?
It'll be a little thing. It's probably connected to the body cam. They're going to have gear. This is just gear. The politicians now need to wear this gear, right? And then there's something on their voice box. Comfortable. I mean, I don't want them to be uncomfortable.
Maybe it's like in a bow tie.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, or whatever it is. And it just, okay, you're starting to reach the end of your time. Oh, you lied 1,350 times, so that takes this number of days off of your term. My fellow Americans. There are several politicians that would love to affix that feature too.
So all together, you're going to have your Flavor Flav fact checker that will then have some sort of built-in voice regulator, as well as a countdown clock that shortens your term in office based on your honesty or dishonesty.
That's right.
I want to elect all dogs. That's fine.
Okay, well, we need to actually pick 5 proper things and then send them on to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man to make it happen.
Well, I don't feel like having all dogs is realistic, although I just want to live in a country where I can just play with dogs, but fine, whatever. We'll get rid of that one.
No, we don't get rid of stuff. We just pick
I know,
stuff.
I'm going
So let me read the things that we have here, and then you tell me after I'm done which one you would like. Okay, so body cams, elect all animals. They have to do everything themselves, no handlers for politicians. The Flava Flav patented fact checker. And it can also be a watch. You know, we can have that. It can also be a clock. Probationary period, and during which time you have to serve as a teacher or a worker. 6 months of training and working at the Waffle House. We can fold that into yours, I guess. Weekly quizzes, and then a voice squealer.
I feel very strongly that they must work in the position in which they're going to lead. So they must serve. So if that's yours or mine or whatever, if that's the 6 months training, I don't care. But they have to experience the role in which they will then be in charge of.
Yes, I like that. Okay, so we can fold a bunch of things that we just said into that. I would say that we need to have body cams.
Okay.
100%. I mean, that people need to be held accountable. Now, the other X factor here is that will they care if they get caught? You know, that's right now we've got, again, people doing things on social media on video, people doing things in movie theaters on video. And I don't know if they have shame, which is why I think it's also important that when they lie, automatically their term is short.
Right. No, I think that's a really good idea. So I like the fact checker a lot because too many people believe just anything that they hear.
Yes.
And also then the decreasing term limits if you're not being honest.
Yes, love that. Okay, so you pick that. I agree with you. They should have to do all their things themselves. They shouldn't have these tremendous bloated staffs that end up working on their own, and also remove the politicians 1 degree of separation, possibly from accountability. Oh no, my spokesperson doesn't really reflect what I'm trying to say. Excellent. Okay, so last one. Dogs?
No, I'm kidding.
The voice squealer, the weekly quizzes, and elect animals.
I don't want the voice squealer. That's going to hurt my ears, but I could just choose to not listen.
Yeah.
Which do you can pick. I don't feel strongly about either one of them.
Weekly quizzes.
Okay.
Weekly quizzes. And the answers, their test results, they get published. We get to see, right? So, excellent. So in our world, politicians, they have to have extensive training before they can even get on the job. And then when they are on the job, they have to take a shift at Waffle House. They get installed upon their persons, body cams, and also fact checkers. And this is going to keep them accountable. As well as they're performing their duty, no spokesperson, no driver,
right.
Just them.
Do it yourself.
And no one to take their weekly quizzes for them.
That's correct.
And just as an aside, no access to AI. What we didn't put on here is that you serve it like you serve jury duty.
Oh, I liked that one.
I think that deserves a look in as well. So maybe we'll add that. We'll sneak that one in because that's a good one. All right, so folks, you are wondering how we can solve this political morass that we're in, how we can address the crooks in government, and the Wilsons have done that for you. So I would like to declare this
Unscrewed.
If you have anything that you would like for us to unscrew up, if you're going through any situations in your life that you think, I'd really like to know how to fix this and laugh at the same time and possibly be given a solution that's nonsense. Well, email us at unscrewitup@gmail.com and we will be more than happy to address your issues.
I don't think all of our solutions are nonsense.
No, actually, I think all of them are rooted in reality, and we just, we present it in a humorous fashion because we're sneaking it in. We're
That's right.
sneaking in how we view the world there, and we're tricking you just like the politicians.
That's right.
do.
Where's your body cam?
All right, Amanda, I feel like we've unscrewed up everything that we can unscrew up for today. Do you have hope now for the current political climate?
Not until this is all implemented, but I will hold out hope until we get there.
Okay, stay puft Marshmallow Man, get to it. We are a part of the Whole Care Network, which is a network that provides resources for caregivers. These are people who take care of other people. And so go over to thewholecarenetwork.com, and what you'll find there is you'll find, like I said, educational resources, support resources, and a whole bunch of podcasts that serve to do the same thing, including this silly little podcast, because we believe that laughter is one of the, well, it's not the best medicine. It's a good medicine, though.
It is important.
All right, so folks, until next week, whatever you do,
Don't screw it up.
bye.
Bye.
This is the Whole Care Network. Helping you tell your story one podcast at a time.